The movie After Earth was released in 2013. It is a very interesting science fiction and action movie. In this movie, Jaden Smith, who is actually the real-life son of Will Smith, plays an important role. The story takes place 1,000 years after Earth became unlivable due to worsening conditions and an alien attack. Because of this, the Rangers evacuated the planet and moved all humans to a new planet called Nova Prime. On Nova Prime, human settlements have been established and training for Rangers is ongoing. Jaden's character quickly completes his test and secures the top position. However, his trainer tells him that while his test scores are perfect, he does not give 100% effort in the field. Jaden then requests the commander to reconsider his results and allow him to become a Ranger. He is eager to tell his father that he has successfully passed the Ranger test. Meanwhile, Will Smith's character arrives home and meets his wife, Jada Pinkett. He then talks to his son, Jaden, about his test. Jaden tells him that he was not selected as a Ranger, and he seems upset with his father. Will explains that maybe he is not ready yet, but Jaden gets frustrated, leading to tension between them. Later, Will tells his wife that he has to go on a mission to supervise Afterearth, which will be his last mission before retirement. After retiring, he plans to spend more time with his family. His wife tells him that their son, Jaden, wants to impress him. Jaden, on the other hand, blames himself for the death of his sister, Shanzi. Hearing this, Will goes to Jaden and tells him to pack his things because he will be joining him on the Afterearth mission. Jaden becomes very happy. The next day, they leave for Afterearth. During the journey, Jaden notices that all the soldiers highly respect his father because he is a great commander. When everyone is on the ship and it gets close to Afterearth, Will tells Jaden to rest. But instead of resting, Jaden starts exploring the ship. While wandering around, he enters a room where a sergeant stops him and asks why he is there without permission. Before the sergeant can say anything else, other soldiers tell him to be respectful because Jaden is the commander's son. Inside the room, the soldiers show Jaden a Katai egg. Katai is a very dangerous and giant insect-like creature. They try to scare Jaden with it. While this is happening, Will suddenly announces that everyone should get ready because he senses a storm coming. The storm quickly becomes very strong, and Will orders the crew to find the nearest planet to land on. But before they can escape, the storm severely damages the ship. They somehow manage to get out of it, but the ship is already heavily damaged. The ship's computer warns them not to land on this planet because it is unsafe for humans. They don't want to land there, but they have no choice because the ship is too damaged to continue flying. Will goes to Jaden and tells him to stay calm. Suddenly, the ship loses control and crashes. Jaden survives, but when he looks around, he realizes that all the other soldiers have died. He searches for survivors but finds no one alive. Then he sees his father, Will, but he is unconscious. Jaden tries to wake him up, and when Will regains consciousness, he is badly injured and unable to move. Will tells Jaden that there should be an emergency phone in the front part of the ship which they can use to contact headquarters. But when Jaden checks, the phone is broken. Will then explains that the back part of the ship, which broke off and fell separately, has another emergency phone. When they check the computer, they see that it is about 100 kilometers away. Someone has to go there and bring the phone back. Since Will's legs are broken, he cannot go. He gives Jaden some medicine pills to help him breathe in this environment. He also hands him a weapon and tells him to stay in touch. Before sending Jaden on the mission, Will gives him important safety instructions. He also warns him that Katai might be on this planet and that they must complete the mission while avoiding it. Jaden leaves from there and struggles to climb a mountain. When he reaches the top, he sees a breathtaking view with beautiful birds and animals around him. Meanwhile, Will checks his injury and realizes he needs surgery because his thigh bone is broken. He takes a painkiller, but suddenly old memories with his son start coming back to him. Jaden, on the other hand, is trying to contact his father while making his way through the jungle. Will has sent several drones to scan the jungle and gather information. Through them, he sees many wild animals roaming around. Suddenly, Jaden notices that his suit is turning black. Will warns him that a dangerous animal is nearby. Moments later, a giant gorilla appears in front of Jaden. Will tells him to stay still, but Jaden panics and throws a rock at the gorilla. This angers the creature, and more gorillas start appearing. Jaden runs as fast as he can, while Will guides him towards a river for safety. After a tough escape, Jaden finally manages to get away. As he runs, a poisonous leech bites him in the water. The venom quickly spreads, making Jaden feel weak and close to death. Will urgently instructs him to use an injection from the emergency kit to neutralize the poison. Jaden struggles but finally manages to inject himself. However, the reaction paralyzes him, and he collapses, unable to move. Will keeps talking to him, giving him instructions. After some time, he tells Jaden to get up and continue the mission. Meanwhile, Will is treating his injured leg. But due to the painkillers, he starts feeling drowsy. As he dozes off, memories of his late daughter come flooding back. As night approaches, Jaden looks for a warm place to stay because the temperature drops dangerously low. Will reminds him to take a second dose of oxygen. Now he only has 4 doses left, as one was lost earlier. During their conversation, Jaden asks his father how he became a soldier. Will shares his story. He was out jogging when a Kitai suddenly attacked him. It caught him off guard, and both of them tumbled down a hill. The next morning, Jaden continues his journey quickly. Along the way, he finds many dead animals. As he crosses a river, he realizes he has reached a high point where the path suddenly ends. Ahead of him, there is only a deep valley filled with water. Will asks Jaden to check what supplies he has. Jaden shows him a small food box and notices that he has very few oxygen tablets left. Will calculates that moving forward is nearly impossible and orders Jaden to return. But Jaden insists that he can do it. However, Will warns him that with only 2 oxygen tablets left, the journey cannot be completed. The conversation turns into an argument about past mistakes, and in frustration, Jaden jumps off the cliff. Suddenly, a massive eagle catches him midair. Jaden struggles to escape, but the eagle takes him to its nest. When he regains consciousness, he finds himself among the eagle's chicks. Soon after, wild animals attack the nest, and Jaden tries to fight them off. Unfortunately, the animals kill the baby eagles. Jaden somehow manages to escape with his life. Meanwhile, Will is trying to track Jaden using drones in the computer, but he loses connection because Jaden's wrist gadget is broken. While searching, Will sees the bodies of his fallen soldiers hanging from trees. Jaden, escaping from wild animals, takes shelter in a cave where he barely avoids a snake attack. While resting, he recalls his father's words and wonders how many more days it will take to reach the crashed ship's broken section. He calculates the time and resumes his journey. As he moves ahead, he spots the same eagle from earlier and quietly sneaks past it. He then uses his last oxygen tablet. Later, Jaden is seen crossing a large river, using a thick tree branch as a raft. Suddenly, he has a vision of his sister. She urges him to wake up. As Jaden moves forward, he feels extremely weak, and his suit turns completely white. Unable to continue, he collapses to the ground, unconscious. Then someone drags him and hides him under a tree. The next morning, when Jaden wakes up, he realizes that it was the same eagle who had saved him. The eagle had seen Jaden trying to protect its babies and had now returned the favor. Jaden, struggling to breathe due to a lack of oxygen, forces himself to move forward. Despite the difficulty, he finally reaches the crashed section of the ship. There, he quickly finds and uses the emergency kit to recover. While looking around, he notices that the small egg inside the ship, possibly belonging to the Kitai, has hatched. Jaden carefully searches the ship and finally finds the emergency phone. Jaden struggles to send the emergency signal to the headquarters, so he starts climbing a mountain to get a better signal. Just then, Kitai suddenly attacks him from behind. Jaden barely escapes and makes his way through caves and rocks, finally reaching the top to send the signal. But at that moment, Kitai attacks again and throws him hard to the ground. Jaden remembers what his father Will once told him. Kitai only attacks when it senses fear. If you control your heartbeat and stay calm, you can defeat it. With this in mind, Jaden gets up, takes control of his fear, and fights Kitai with all his strength. After a long and intense battle, he finally kills the creature. Now Jaden sends the emergency signal again, and this time, it successfully reaches the headquarters. Soon the rescue team arrives on Earth and takes both Will and Jaden back to safety. Will, who is badly injured, receives medical treatment. Despite his condition, he tells his team to help him stand up. Then with pride, he salutes his son. They shake hands and hug, feeling happy and proud of each other. This is how the incredible movie ends. It was one of the best releases of 2013. Thank you for joining me on this journey. If you enjoyed the explanation, please like, subscribe, and share to support the channel. See you in the next movie explanation. Stay awesome.